All right, Bears, good morning. It is Wednesday morning homeschool. Getting dialed in. I was going to look at some of your slideshows and see how you were progressing, but we're having some issues with Schoology. That's to be expected with every single teacher now trying to use it. Every kid in the district. It's amazing it's going to work at all. We really don't need that today, though. I'll try to do that tomorrow and or Friday, just like we do in the classroom, keeping the routines rolling. So don't forget, though, Schoology is your place to go. Usually I'm noticing in the mornings a lot of glitches. So if you're an early bird, get up early. I'd say between 6 and 8, you're going to be able to get a lot of Schoology done. And then probably later in the day. So let's hope they just keep increasing the bandwidth and get that figured out. So for now, let's just do a quick check-in. I'm homeschooling from my backyard. You'll hear a lot of people say stay inside, and that is definitely the best if you are in a crowded area. But if you can, I think a better way to say it is stay away from people. They do say that virus can float around in the air for a long time. So if you have a mask or even a cool little bandana or anything at all, yeah, it's not going to be like the top-notch stuff, but it's going to help. So, maybe walk around with a little scarf and then pull it up over your nose if you're walking by somebody. But if you can get in the backyard, get out in your courtyard, if you have your parents to take you on a hike, don't forget about your physical fitness. Because the best way to fight against anything is with staying healthy and having a strong immunity system. Notice the word immunity and system, which we will get to soon as we work our way through the body systems. Right now we're in the skeletal system, which includes the joints. And the joints, you can almost feel your joints. They're in there and they help things move around. And there's cartilage. We talked about a little bit of cartilage. And there's all kinds of little moving parts. But today let's just go over a fun little link I'm going to share with this video. It is a Glencoe.com skeletal lab. The link will be there. And don't forget, if you're on the Chromebooks from school, you might have to click the little red icon up here, which you can't see because I've got this on short screen. But there's a little red dot that comes up in the top right. You click that, and then you change your settings so that it asks before you use, drawing a blank on what it is, but before you use the program that runs this. And then you click Allow, and then you're off and running. Once again, these little activities are optional now. Kids that really, if you really want to have an A, you want to move up to an A, then you're going to want to try to do all these little optional things I'm giving you. If you want to keep the same grade you've had, then you maybe can't get to a link. Don't stress out about it. Try to get the basic slideshow done each week. Concepts are in groups. If you haven't found that yet, I know people are still jumping on. Some of you have been doing this for 2.5 weeks. But if you're just finding us, you know what to do. Just like in class, you go to groups, you read what to do, you click show more. Now, if the first day you're going into groups is on a Wednesday or a Thursday because you couldn't get to it, that's fine. But keep in mind, I've probably have 2 to 3 entries by that point. So you're going to have to scroll down in the groups. I might be able to get to it here. Let's see. Scroll down. There's our groups. Beautiful thing to work with. You're going to have to scroll down in the groups to find what we're doing. So here's a little video from Monday because I haven't posted anything yet. That was a video test to see how the Schoology video works. I've noticed these videos stay as a link that download for sometimes hours, and then finally it becomes a link you can watch from on here. I'd love to see some discussions going on. See if we can go to our discussions. Well, see, something went wrong, so we won't deal with that today. Let's go back to our Glencoe. So the discussions, I'd love to see you guys chime in. Remember, you can share your work. You can share your slideshows with a friend. You can comment and read each other's slideshows and learn from each other's material. That's always the best thing ever. All right. Where was I? Let's do a little read along, just like we do in class. So whenever you're doing a read along, close read, if you're going to be asked to read out loud, you want to make sure you read silently. So if you have a little brother or sister around when you're watching this video, hit pause, get your brother and sister, and then practice doing a little read aloud. So first, I'm going to give you a second. I want you to read this section here. Sometimes it helps to go with your mouse or a finger and as you read. So I'm going to read silently. You read silently, and then feel free to read along with me. All right, so let's take a look. When you're going to read aloud to somebody, you want to check the words you maybe don't know how to say. So I'm looking at this conjunction. Conjunction. So I say that a couple times. Facilitate. Muscles. Phosphorus and calcium. Now, of course, great thing to do if you don't. Calcium is one of our concepts this week, by the way. But if you and muscle system we're going to get to later. But if you highlight calcium, copy it, paste it into a new tab, you can find out the meaning of that on your own. Quick thesaurus. But let's read. The adult human skeleton is made up of 206 separate bones. The human skeletal system has 5 major functions. Remember the function word from when we did cells? Functions? That's awesome. Structure and functions. So here we are with another system. What's the structure? The kind of like a part. You could call it the parts. What's the functions? The job. So the part, and then what's the job the part does? So here we are again. To give shape and support to the body, to protect internal organs, to facilitate movement in conjunction with muscles, to form red blood cells, and to store minerals such as calcium and phosphorus. Now, say you're doing a reading like this on a test or some book, and you're like, I don't know what that facilitate means. Well, what you want to do is see what it looks like in context. I know give shape and support the body. I think we know what that means. It means so we're not like a jellyfish. To protect internal organs, that seems kind of obvious. I've got a heart sitting inside of this rib cage, and now if I fall down, it's protected. That seems kind of obvious. Facilitate movement. So now I got movement. What does facilitate? What's another word that might go to start movement? To help movement? To help movement. That kind of sounds right. So facilitate might be something like help. To facilitate movement in conjunction with muscles. Now what in the world does conjunction mean? To facilitate movement in part with the muscles, in time with the muscles. Movement in conjunction with kind of like sounds like maybe in unison, maybe in cooperation with the muscles. That sounds about right. So to facilitate movement in conjunction with the muscles, to form red blood cells. That's not an obvious thing that the skeleton actually forms the red blood cells. Back to our cellular study we did a long time ago, not that long ago. And to store minerals such as calcium, phosphorus. Fantastic. Now we won't break down every paragraph like that, but I'm just getting you guys fresh on reading on your own. So let's go ahead and keep reading. The human skeleton can be divided into 2 main parts. The axial skeleton includes the skull and the bones that support it, such as the vertebral column, ribs, and sternum. The appendicular skeleton includes the bones of the limbs and the structure that support them, such as the scapula and pelvic bones. Now remember, when you read along with somebody, if you're looking at the word while I say them, I might say a word wrong. That is fine. We don't have to know every single word scientific exactly how to say it. But when you're reading with me, you're becoming a better reader, so please follow along. Any place where 2 or more bones meet is a joint. There are various types of joints in the skeleton that allow the body to move in different ways. Hinge joints in the elbows, knees, fingers, and toes allow back and forth movement. Gliding joints in the wrists and ankles allow bones to slide against each other. Ball and socket joints in the hips and shoulders allow rotational movement. Pivot joints between the vertebrae of the neck allow bones to twist against each other. Although most joints allow movement, there are some, such as the joints in the skull, that do not allow movement. Let's do a little physical activity. I have joints in here, and I also have tendons in here that are sore from mountain bike crashing. So when I move them, I can almost feel them moving. And so we're going to get to some of those when we do tendons and muscles. Another thing that's very interesting, a lot of movement in engineering. If you are just way ahead of the game, done all your reading, done your slideshow, looking for more experimental work, like I know Jack and a couple other people really like to get their hands on things, you could literally make these ball and socket joints. If you go research on the internet with maybe a marble and a rubber band and a couple of sticks, and remember, you guys all have access to a camera. So even though we're virtual learning, I would love to see you guys just get on there with a little experiment and get your ball and joint and get two sticks and maybe put it together, and then maybe get a sliding joint going with something. Just have fun. Once again, all optional, but you're home. See if somebody out there might build themselves a little skeleton out of toothpicks or something. I don't know. So have some fun. If you have anything like that, remember, you can take a picture. You can put it in the discussion. You can put it in your slideshow. That would just be fantastic. All right, let's get going. Get excited about the learning. It's going to be a long lesson. Although most joints allow movement, there we go. In the virtual lab, here we go. You will play the role of a curator at a natural history museum. The main screen shows your laboratory. Your job will be to reconstruct an ancient skeleton by piecing together bones that were recovered by an archaeologist. Oh boy, do I love these topics. History one week, science the next. And here we are learning about science, and now we're talking about one of our concepts from history, archaeologist. Can anybody remember what an archaeologist does? Dun, 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 dun. You are right. An archaeologist studies the past by digging up the dirt and finding artifacts, including the remains like skeletons. So maybe this is an ancient skeleton from some caveman, or maybe somebody from the Sumerian Empire, or even maybe it's Hammurabi himself. Who knows? All right, let's keep going. Objectives: identify the major bones of the human body. Place the major bones of the body in a correct anatomical position. Procedure: I'm going to just show you. Read that on your own. There's a lot of clicking. Those are directions. You can read that on your own, but watch this. It takes a minute. What do? I click the box. Bam. Now, we've got to build the skeleton. Do I click here? Shows you all the parts. Guess what was coming on Thursday and Friday tomorrow? Challenge match. Too bad I'm not there to give you an M&M. That's usually what I do. I don't want to break it to you, but if we were in class, you would actually get prizes for the people that achieve the challenge match. I will provide you that link tomorrow. You'll study, you'll do the challenge match, and report back how quick you did the game tomorrow. But today's game, take a look at this, close it, study it, and then we come over here. What if I click this? Nothing. So I go back. What if I click the box? Bam. What is that? So we've got some piece of the skeleton here, and it's very difficult to figure out where it goes on these small ones. So I go looking around. Do I see anything? I don't know. Kind of looks like it could be here. There? Nope. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. All right, so one thing that can help you is you start going through the
Mandible.
list. And it tells you how to say things.
Sternum.
What do you think it is? Can anybody find it? This is when I really miss being in the classroom, because I know somebody in there would be shouting out right now, telling me, Mr. Downs, it's this, it's this. Let's take a shot at
Vertebrae.
I think that looks like a vertebrae. Bam! Got it. All right, let's click the box again. Oh, my goodness. Those small ones are tough. Good luck, guys. You're on your own now. All right, have fun. See if you can complete this one. Tomorrow's a whole nother skeleton game, assuming the link is still there and everything works. Play with this today. Hopefully slideshows work later. Like I said, I'll probably do a randomizer tomorrow on camera and look at somebody's slideshow. I'll try to get different people's each week, just like we do in class. You guys are awesome. All right, have fun playing with the skeleton. Remember, these are optional, but it's pretty fun. Some of this stuff you can really do your own. Look at it. I mean, those are all the bones. You've got them right in front of you. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Shoulders, joints, movement. You can even feel your shin bone. You can feel your tibia, and I think you might even be able to, I don't know if you can feel your fibula Definitely can feel your tibia down there, though. So you can feel a lot of these bones, and don't just check it out so you help learn it. While you put your finger on the bone, just say the bone. So at top of my knee, patella. Big bone on my shin, tibia. And then we've got a bunch more. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. You guys are awesome. Stay safe. Wear those masks if you go outside. Don't find a cool handkerchief. You'll be good to go. And we're going to see you at some point, even if it's next year in September. I'm thinking we need to do some kind of social gathering at Luther Burbank in the summer once we've got the all clear, if we stay closed. All right, you guys are awesome. See you Friday, if anything, with the Burbank song.